What up, Heath? How you doing, man? I hope you're good out there in the field. I don't know if you're in the field, or I guess you wouldn't be in the field. You wouldn't be watching, but hope everybody's good, man. And I'm always praying for you and your fellow brothers in service, and appreciate y'all service. Thank you for being here, brother. Hope y'all having a good evening. Of course, as always, I'm gonna give it just a couple of minutes, and I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this lesson. And it's a really good lesson, really important lesson that I think we all need to hear. Especially addressing with everything that's going on in our world today. Appreciate that, man. God bless you too, brother. Let me get to this. I'm just going to give a couple of minutes, like I said, see if we get a couple of others. If not, I'll just go ahead and get started and let everybody catch us when they catch us. But I'm glad to hear you're doing good, brother. I'm always praying for you. You and your family. Always. All right. And I guess while we're waiting, if you got your Bible out, we're going to be in Judges again tonight. And we're going to be in chapter 4. You can find my lesson. And I wrote it. All right, here we go. Give a couple more minutes. There's somebody else in there. I can't see who it is just yet, but whoever the other person is, hello. Hope you're doing wonderful as well. Give about one more minute. Like I said, we're going to be in Judges chapter 4 tonight. I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all probably can hear it in my voice. I'm going to have to apologize. Hopefully I sound clear. It's definitely, man, y'all should have heard me Monday and Tuesday. It was horrible. But my voice was like completely gone because I got a new employee that I'm training. And so I'm having to do, basically, it's a lot of stuff that goes on in the lab that I work at. So basically, all this week, I've been talking for like 8 hours straight because everything I'm doing is like new stuff to this person. I'm having to instruct them. And man, it's been rough on my voice. And I ended up losing my voice. I lost my voice by the end of Monday. It was already gone. And then Tuesday was horrible. And it's starting to come back now. But you can probably still tell it's kind of hoarse. So I'm not sick. Everybody think I'm sick. I'm not sick. I've just been basically talking too much. And I was praying like, Lord, got to get my voice Back. I got so wanted to go on Saturday. And I still got a lesson to do Saturday. So thankfully, it's come back enough where I can get through this. I'm just going to sound a little weird. So that's what's going on with me. But I'm going to go ahead and jump into this lesson tonight. Once again, thank y'all for being here. I'm Brother John Stewart on behalf of the Lost Sheep Ministry in association with River Lake Baptist Church. And I'm coming to bring y'all what I think is a wonderful lesson tonight. Some I haven't done yet. I kind of did a lesson like this for Mother's Day. But tonight we're going to be looking at the role of women in the church and the importance of that role. Society has, I say society or the devil, one of the main proponents until getting our nation to where it needs to be, or keeping our nation where it needs to be, and building the kingdom of God. One of the main proponents to that is the family. The family structure. That's why God set the family up the way he did. Our family is the man and the husband and the wife and the children that comes from that union. And it's very important that we continue to realize that, and we got to realize how important it is. And see, the devil knows how important it is, and he's done everything he can over the last few years to break up the family structure. And if you look at our society today, all the stuff that's going on, especially in America, it's worldwide, but it's very prevalent in America. You see what I mean? A lot of the stuff that we see going on in America, when you look at the violence and things of that nature, a lot of this is going on because the family structure has been torn down. And it's three things that I think that our country, America, is doing, and the world is doing, and the devil is doing to tear that down. And we're going to look at one of those today. One of the main things it's done to tear that down is convince society and the world that homosexuality is okay. You know what I'm saying? So when you do that and you give people, homosexual the right to get married, which again, they can do what they want to, you know what I'm saying? That's between them and God. But when you do that and you say that's legit and that's right, it changes the family structure that God set from the beginning. Because you look over in Genesis, what did God say? He said that's why a man leaves his family and go joins himself to a wife. You know what I'm saying? It was talking about a woman. It wasn't talking about a man going and joining himself to another man or a woman going and joining herself with another woman. But we have that these days. So we got families where it's two dads, two men together, and one of them trying to play a mother, and they can't do that. Or you got families where it's two women together, and one of them trying to play dad, and you can't do that. So in doing so, it's turned the family structure apart, and therefore our country is turned apart. It is crumbling. Since the 60s, since they've taken the Bible out of school, they've taken prayer out of school, we've seen our society start to crumble, is eroding away. And over the last few years, it's gotten bad. It's gotten real bad. It's just like it's jumped off a cliff. And one of the main reasons why that is happening is because the family structure is being ripped apart. Because again, you know, they say that homosexuality is legal. They can get married. They can adopt kids and have kids. And that's not what God had. God didn't have in mind when he created us, when he set the family structure up, for two men to be together or two women to be together. So that's one thing they're doing. The next thing they're doing that's tearing the family structure apart, they're telling men, they're teaching men and showing men and putting in men's head that it's okay not to be a man. So what I'm saying is, you know, you got so many single parent homes these days because you got men thinking it's okay, it's not a big deal to go lay up with a woman and get her pregnant and then leave the woman by herself to raise their child. So you got all these women, these single women out here trying to raise men, and they can't do that. Or even with daughters, because you need both parents. That's the whole structure of the family. You need a man and a woman in there because there's things that women can do that men can't do. There's things that a woman can teach a child, whether boy or girl, that a man can't. You know, and there's things that a man can teach a child, whether boy or girl, that a woman can't. So you need that. But you got men afraid to be men these days. They're afraid of responsibility. They're afraid of taking care of the things that they're supposed to be taking care of, and it's okay to run away from it. You know, and then, you know, and even just in simple stuff, you know, us men, we like to be active. We like to do stuff. We like watching sports and things like that. And that's just man stuff. We like to have man talk. You know what I'm saying? That's just man. And now society got to the point where if you do anything remotely manly, oh, that's toxic masculinity. You know what I'm saying? If you speak up against some stuff that you see a young boy doing, and you know that ain't the way a man will handle it, oh, that's just your toxic masculinity. So they got us now afraid to be men. You know what I'm saying? And that's sad because we need men to be men to get our society back where it need to be. Come and tell y'all something. Look, it's just men. Y'all know, y'all watch my videos, y'all know I love the Lord. I love the Lord with all my heart. But at the same time, I'm still a man. So if I'm out somewhere and there's the gorgeous looking young lady and she's walking around and half naked, of course I'm going to look because I'm a man. That's what I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying, if my boy's around, we're going to probably talk about it because that's what men do. We're not supposed to, that's what we're doing, we're supposed to do. That's why you have those things to attract us, for us to look at so the race, the human race can continue. So why should I feel ashamed for doing what God made me do? Now, me going over and talking to her or trying to slide in the DM, okay, yeah, you're messing up. But man, if she got everything hanging out for me to see it, and I look at it, then why am I'm the one that should feel shame? Why should I be accused of having toxic masculinity because I'm doing what a man's supposed to do? You see what I'm saying? And that's what they've done in our society. They're weakened us down, and they made the man race, the whole gender of man to be just wussies. You know what I'm saying? For lack of better words. They don't take care of their responsibility. They're afraid of being responsible. Most of them won't get out and work and do what they're supposed to do to take care of their families. Always looking for a handout. Instead of working, they'd rather get with a girl and get her get on welfare and let the government take care of them instead of just standing on being a man, standing on their own 2 feet and take care of themselves. And see, that's why our society is breaking down. So one, again, they teaching that homosexuality is perfectly right or okay and legal, and that's tearing the family apart. They're teaching men not to be men, and that's tearing the family apart. And the third thing they're doing, they're convincing women that it's not okay to be a woman. They're convinced they have completely convinced women that if a woman do a woman out there, a woman do what a woman's supposed to do, that it's not okay. You know what I'm saying? They convince women not to be women. So now every woman want to be Miss Independent. Everyone want to be, oh, I got this mindset. I don't need a man. Yes, you don't need a man to survive. But man, how much better life will be if you get you a good man and y'all can live this life together. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can share these burdens and these trials and tribulations together. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that you got a partner that got your back. Because that's what it was set up to be. You know what I'm saying? That's supposed to be. You're not supposed to be doing this by yourself, and you shouldn't have to do this by yourself. It's society is telling you, oh, that it's okay. You're a strong woman if you can do that by yourself. You don't need no man. You know what I'm saying? It's convincing women, no, don't get pregnant. Go get you a career. You know, go to school. Don't get pregnant. And that's one. I think that's one of the most beautiful things that a woman can do is bringing another life into this world. But society has convinced our women that it's not okay to do so. Anytime a woman do something that's womanly, like, you know, they got to find a man, a good man, an actual man that's worth it, and that'll come up a little bit later on as well. But find a man that's worth it. He's dedicated to her, and he's doing everything he can to her. And society convince a woman, if she find a man like that that's worth it and she submit herself, then the society look down on. Don't submit to no man. You don't got to submit to no man. You just be your own man, basically. You see what I'm saying? And that's crazy. You know, and what it was doing is turn our society apart because it's turned the family apart. And we don't realize how important family is. The family structure is. God set the family structure up for a reason. The man's supposed to be head of the house. He's supposed to be the leader of the family. And he's supposed to be the one that's in charge of the relationship with God. And if he's doing what he's supposed to do, then the wife's supposed to do what she's supposed to do, and she submit to the man, and then therefore she will have also a relationship with God because she's following the man. And if the man and the woman have a good close relationship with God, guess what? Most likely the children are going to also have a good close relationship with God. And that's the cycle you want to keep going instead of this vicious cycle, which is what we're going to talk about tonight. So that's one of the things that we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about the importance of a woman's role, a woman's place. Because a lot of time when you hear that, it's from a negative standpoint. And I'll be the first to admit, men have not helped the cause. There's some of the main reason why women don't like to be in the roles that they're made to be in, because they make them feel little for doing it. You know what I'm saying? They say stuff like, "Oh, you should be in the kitchen. You should be at the house," which is true, but you got to realize, and I'm hoping y'all will see from this lesson tonight, you got to realize how powerful and how important it is for you to be in those roles. You know what I'm saying? I want to take away this stigma that society has put on a woman being in her place. And I want to show you from the Bible how important it is for a woman to be in her place, because that's why God made her. You see what I'm saying? That's why God made a woman. God made a woman to bring life into this world, to keep life going in this world. That's why God made a woman. That's why they're so special. Because there's things that women can do that man can't do, we can only dream of. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to look at the family structure, and we're going to see through this stuff. Because tonight, so open your Bibles up. We're going to be in Judges chapter 4, and we're going to look at this judge, and then guess what? It was a woman. You know what I'm saying? It was a woman named Deborah. So we're going to look at the importance of the woman's role, not only in the church, but in the human race and in life in general. That's what we're going to go on tonight as we continue to look through this vicious cycle as we go through this book of Judges. So again, y'all excuse my voice. I've been training all week, and y'all see I got me some tea. So if y'all see me sipping a little extra, I got some tea with some honey and lemon in it and trying to help me get through this. I was out sewing earlier too, so that didn't help. So if I sound a little raspy, a little crazy, that's what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and pray, and then we're going to jump into the lesson. Dear Lord, Heavenly Father, thank you so much for watching over us tonight. It's been a long day, Lord. I had a whole lot to do. I was over in Linden for a basketball tournament earlier and soul winning, and now I'm here bringing this lesson. So it's been a pretty busy Saturday for me, Lord, but you gave me the strength to make it all the way through it. And now I ask you to give me the spirit as I go through this lesson to help the people see the importance of the role of a woman. Lord, it's too long that women have been made to believe that if they just do what you made them to do, then they're nothing. they're not important. They're insignificant in the grand scheme of things. And I want to show them tonight, Lord, that they can't be no more farther from the truth than making that statement, because it's very vital. It's very important for the woman to do the role of a woman. That's why you made them. That's why you made men and women separate, Lord. There's certain things you made men for us to do, and there's certain things you made women for them to do, Lord. And we have to see the importance of having these roles and how important that role is in the overall goal of honoring and glorifying your name and building your kingdom. So I pray, Lord, you send your spirit down upon me. Give me the strength, give my voice the strength to make it through this lesson. I've been struggling all week with the voice, so I just pray you give my voice the strength to make it through this lesson. But more important, Lord, let your spirit work on my mind and my heart so I may present this lesson and help people see the importance of the role of the women in the church and in our lives. And I pray that if there's anybody watching this video tonight, that this touches their heart, it gives them the want to, or matter of fact, open their mind up so they can see the role of women different. So if they're women, they will start getting into those roles and appreciating those roles. And if they're men, they appreciate just how much women do for us. They keep us going. So I ask you to be with us as we go through this tonight. And I say this prayer in your wonderful Son, Jesus' name. Amen. All right. So again, we're going to talk about tonight, like I said in the introduction, there's three things I believe society has been doing that has destroyed the family structure, and that's why we see our nation coming down around us. You know, and they've destroyed the structure about saying it's okay to be married, homosexual to be married. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. It's not okay for a man to be a man. They call it toxic masculinity, and they're saying it's not okay. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, let's just sip on some tea together. You know, a lot of shows they be drinking together, but let's sip on some tea together. Like I said, they convinced men that it's not okay to be men, and they've convinced women that it's not okay to be women. And like I said, we're going to look at tonight the very important, how important it is for the women to be women. It's important for a woman to be in her place. And again, I'm not saying it in a chauvinistic way. Hey, you need to be in the kitchen. You need to get back in the kitchen. You need to get back to the house, clean the house and all that. No, even though that's kind of what it's insinuated, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, yes, you should do those things because it's vital that you do those things. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we're going to see that tonight, how vital it is for the woman to be in her place, to play her role, because that plays a part in our society, it plays a part in our church, and it plays a part in us continuing to have the ability to build the kingdom of God. So again, if you got your Bible, we're going to be in Judges chapter 4 tonight, and we're going to look, and of course we're going, this is a series, and this series is going to be all the way through the book of Judges, and it's called The Vicious Cycle Continue. So once again, we're going to look at this vicious cycle. So in case this is the first time you're catching this lesson and you haven't caught the other two that I've done already on this vicious cycle, the cycle that I'm talking about is the cycle that we're going to see the Israelites keep going through as we go through this book of Judges. And the cycle is this. First, they start off humble. You know, they're humble. They're calling out to the Lord. Lord, we got some trouble going on. Please rescue us. So they're humble. They call out to the Lord. The Lord hears their prayers. He answers their prayers. He sends them a judge along, somebody that has the strength or the wisdom or the enthusiasm they need to lead the people out of the oppression or captivity, whatever it is they're in. And the Lord send them. He'll send them and they'll free them from this oppressive situation they're in. And then the people get the blessings and they'll do good for a little while. And then eventually that judge dies off. And after that judge dies off, what happens is they fall into apathy. And apathy is when you get to, it's a lack of interest or enthusiasm or concern. So they get to the point where they've been so blessed and things have been so good and peaceful that they forget about the one that gave them blessings and that peace, which is God. And usually when they get into, when the apathy sets in, then you start seeing a lot of disobedience. You start seeing a lot of not only disobedience, you actually start seeing actual hatred for God and the things of God. And then, of course, you know, a hatred for God and the things of God and turn your back on God. And eventually what's going to happen, which is the last part of the cycle, destruction. And you know what I'm saying? Once you turn your back on God, God takes his grace and his hand off of you. And then you're left to face this world all alone and destruction come upon you. So we're going to see this cycle that's going to continue to happen as we go through this book of Judges. They humble themselves, call out to the Lord. The Lord hears their prayer, answers them, give them blessings, then apathy sits in, and then comes destruction. So we're going to see this cycle. But tonight, like I said, we're going to focus on this judge by the name of Deborah. And the title of it is A Vicious Cycle Continues. And we're going to look at Deborah and a woman's place. You know what I'm saying? A woman's place. So we're going to start over in chapter 4. And again, y'all know, I always like to make the announcement. I am a King James believer. I believe in the King James. But I read out the New Living Translation just for the people in my ministry, because my ministry is geared toward the uneducated or the ones that's just getting into the relationship with the Lord. And it's hard to understand that King James if you don't have that Spirit guide you. And if you haven't worked on your relationship yet, you're not going to have the Spirit guide you. So I just read out the New Living Translation so people be able to understand a little bit more about what's being said here tonight. But again, this is a very important lesson. I want y'all to see tonight the importance of the role of a woman. Hey, Rita, it's been a while since I've seen you live. I don't know if you're catching the videos after I've done, but I know it's been a while since you've been able to catch me live. I'm glad you're here, praying everything is going okay with you, and hoping everything is all right with you. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the lesson. I just went through the introduction. So again, tonight we're going to look at this vicious cycle, and I'm going to point out to y'all as we go through the cycle contents. We're going to see the humbleness, we're going to see the blessings, we're going to see the apathy, and we're going to see the destruction again. But tonight, the main idea of this lesson is to focus on the importance of a woman's role in the church and in life in general and in the family structure. And it's so important that we have that woman's love. So we're going to start off with Judges chapter 4, if you got your Bibles. So it starts off, it says, so after Ehud's death, the Israelites again did what was evil in the Lord's sight. So the Lord handed them over to King Jabin of Hazor, a Canaanite king. So number one, and I told y'all this if y'all watched the last lesson, I told y'all this first point is going to be the same point in every lesson. So I'm not just running out ideas and keep bringing the same stuff up. It's going to be important because over the overall lesson, the main idea of this is what I want y'all to get you to understand is this first point. And it is inconsistency in your faithfulness is what keeps you in this cycle. You know what I'm saying? This vicious cycle of constantly having to humble yourself to get the blessings, and then you get apathetic and turn away from God, and then the destruction comes. You know what I'm saying? If you just stay faithful to the work that God has for you to do, if you stay faithful to serving God, you stay faithful to reading your Bible, you stay faithful to your prayer life, you stay faithful to going to church like you're supposed to, it will keep you out of this cycle. And that's what's happening, because you see with Israel, you know what I'm saying, when because it said at the end of the life of at the end of the last judge we looked at was Ehud, and it said at the end of his life they had peace. It said so Moab was conquered by Israel that day, and the land was at peace for 80 years. So they had peace for 80 years because for 80 years that judge was alive. So for 80 years they actually did the thing they were supposed to do for the Lord. So it was the consistency that kept them in that peaceful state. But then guess what? You notice it gave you a timetable. It says for 80 years. So that shows you that for 80 years, they did what they were supposed to do. But after that 80 years was up, guess what they did? The apathy set in. The apathy set in, and they got away from the things of God. They got away from being consistent in their relationship with God. And then what happens after you get consistent in your relationship with God? When you turn your back on God, destruction come in. So we see that right there in that first statement. It said after Ehud's death, you know what I'm saying, the Israelites again did what was evil in the Lord's sight. So the fact that it said again show you that this ain't the first time this has happened. And of course, if y'all been following me through these series over the last 3 lessons, that's what I've been talking about. I've been talking about them constantly being in this cycle, of, oh, God, I'm okay, God, I'm sorry, I messed up. I'm going to serve you. And God like, okay, here you go, some blessings. And they serve for a little while, then it's right back, you know what, forget you, God, we don't need you no more. We doing good on our own. We got all these riches now, we're doing good on our own. And then what happens? The destruction come in. So we see the first 2 points of the cycle right there in the very first line. We see the apathy and we see the destruction. Because after Ehud died, they once again did what they were supposed to do. Did what was evil in the Lord's sight. And that's what apathy does. Apathy, the first sign of apathy is disobedience. You start being disobedient. You start doing the stuff that you know God don't want you to do, even though you know you're not supposed to be doing. The very same things that you maybe even prayed for God to take away from you before. I know I used to do that all the time with the weed. Lord, please, Lord, take this weed away from me, Lord, and I probably won't do it again. And then he'll do, and I might stay away from a year or two, and then I'm right back at it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we do, and that's what apathy does. It breeds disobedience. It breeds rebellion. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. So you see they're apathetic, and because they were apathetic, they got away from God. Guess what? God sent the destruction. So in the very first line, you see the two aspects of this cycle. We see the apathy and we see the destruction. So then it says, in verse 2 says, so the commander of his army was Sisera, who lived in Hirosheth Hagiom. I'm mispronouncing that terribly. He says Sisera who had 900 iron chariots, ruthlessly oppressed the Israelites for 20 years. So he says again, Sisera oppressed, who had 900 iron chariots, ruthlessly oppressed the Israelites for 20 years. So that's going to take me to the second point. Like I said, the first point I just want to bring back up because that's the overall thing. That's the way we're going to get out of this cycle, is about just staying faithful in our relationship with God. So the second thing we got to understand, you got to understand this. The more you backslide, when you constantly getting, in this cycle, you constantly getting into the apathy and turning your back on the Lord, the more you backslide, the worse it gets, the harder it gets to get back to God. That's what I got. The more you backslide, the harder it is to get back to God. What am I talking about? Now, if y'all remember from the first lesson, we saw Othniel, right? And it says before Othniel came, they was oppressed. They was in 8 years of oppression. So when they first got away from God, for 8 years, they was under oppression. You know what I'm saying? And all they did, they was just subjects. This king, I think it was a Moabite king, came in, put them under subjection. So basically that means they had to do everything this king said do, and they had to pay him taxes and things of that nature. They were just subjects. So that was the first time. So then Othniel came in, you know what I'm saying, got them out of that situation, and they was good. And then it says after Othniel died, I think they had peace for like 40 years or something like that. And then Othniel died, and then that was when Ehud came in. So then Ehud came in, and but when Ehud came in, it says after Othniel, before Ehud, there was 18 years of oppression. So you notice the first time they was only oppressed for 8 years, and they was on the subject. But the second time they was oppressed for 18 years, and it says they when you read the story of Ehud, or you go back and watch the video of Ehud, it said not only did they lose some of their, they was not only subject to this king that had them oppressed, but they also lost a large amount of their inheritance that God had gave them. So not only was they in oppression longer, in other words, not only were they away from God longer, not only did it take them a lot longer to humble themselves and get back to God, they also lost a lot more than they had lost the first time. So then now in Deborah, then of course it said after Ehud's death, the Israelites again did what was even in the Lord's sight. So the Lord handed them over to King Jabin of Hazar, a Canaanite king. And then what did it say? He oppressed them for 20 years. So you notice it went from 8 years of oppression to 18 years of oppression to 20 years of oppression. And you notice each time the oppression also got worse. And see, that's what happened when you constantly backslide. That's what happens when you're constantly on the fence. That's what happens when you constantly going back and forth with God. That's why God says over in Revelation, he said, I'd rather you be hot or cold, because if you're lukewarm, I'm going to spit you out of my mouth. And lukewarm is those people that's always on the fence. Hey, God, I'm with you. I'm not with you today. Things didn't go so good, God. I'm with you, God. I'm not with you today. And again, consistency is what takes you out of this cycle. You know what I'm saying? I'm with God when my days are going great and everything is wonderful, magnificent. And I'm also with God when things are not going great, it's not going my way. When things are uncomfortable, when God got me in places that I don't really want to be, I'm steered up with him because I know all things work together for good. You know what I'm saying? For those that love God. So you got to understand, the more you backslide, the harder it gets. Not only did it get harder to get back to the Lord and take you longer to get back to the Lord, but also the problem that you deal with is harder. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I got some, I don't know about throat coat key, but this is what I'm working with. I got honey, lemon, and warm tea. So hopefully after today, I shouldn't have to preach or yell no more for a couple of days. So maybe I'll get my voice back completely. But so again, you see the first time they was in subjection for 8 years and they were just subjects. Second time, they was in subjection for 18 years, and they was not only subjects, but they lost their inheritance. But then in this time, they was in subjection for 20 years, and the oppression was ruthless. It said he was ruthless. That means he was brutal. You know what I'm saying? They was being beaten and murdered, and probably the women being raped, and every other thing that was going on that happens when you're under subjection. So you got to understand, each time, how you doing, Sister Rhonda? Glad you was able to join us. I didn't know if you're going to be able to make it tonight. So I'm glad you was here. So again, each time that you walk away from the Lord, every single time, it makes it that much harder for you to go back. And a lot of times, it takes a lot more. It takes God having to do a lot more to bring you back to Him. And you see, that's what happened here. So you had first, initially, 8 years, second time, 18 years, and the third time, 20 years. So each time, the oppression gets longer, but also the oppression gets longer, but also it gets harder. Because like I said, the first time, they were just subjects. Second time, they were subjects, and they lost some of their inheritance. But the third time, they were subjects, they lost some of their inheritance, and they also, the oppression was ruthless. So again, it got worse. And that's what happened. Every time you walk for back and forth and you get away from God, get back to God, get away from God, get back to God, it gets worse each time. So again, we see the next the step in our cycle. We see the destruction. They was under destruction for 20 years. They was in the cycle of destruction where they was being ruthlessly oppressed by this king, the commander of this king, because they had got away from God, because they had slipped into the apathy and got away from God. So then the next line, and this is another one from the previous lesson, but this is another one that's going to keep coming up. The next line says, but then the Israelites cried out to the Lord for help. So once again, for number 3, again, always, that's something we have to remember. And again, this is one that's going that's the one that's going to come up again. Never forget the Lord is faithful and just to forgive us. You know what I'm saying? So again, we see the next step in our cycle, humbleness. So in just that one little verse right there, we see 3 steps of our cycle. Just in that one little paragraph, verses 1 through 3, we see 3 different aspects of this cycle that I've been teaching y'all about over the last few weeks. We see the apathy. They got away from, they once again did what was even in the Lord's sight when Ehud died. We see the destruction. This Sisera guy was ruthlessly oppressing them. And now we see in the humbleness. Once again, they humbled themselves and they called back out to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the devil wants you to think. That's what the world wants you to think. You know what I'm saying? He wants you to think that you've done so much or you've gotten so far away from God that you can never call out on God and turn back. That's what he wants you to think, and he wants you to just stay on that. And, you know, a lot of people, I've talked to people that has had that mindset, and I've like, man, I've done so much, there ain't even no point. I'm like, man, that's like saying, oh, dang, I got shot in the foot, I might as well shoot myself in the head. You know what I'm saying? That's the same logic. That's what you're saying. No, you've messed up. You realize you messed up, and you probably messed up several times doing the same thing, but that don't mean that you can't never get back. Don't never think you've messed up so much or you did the wrong thing so many times. There's no way you can get back to God. God is always faithful and just to forgive us. Don't forget that. Don't forget what up, Pat? Man, you just missed the first 3 points, but I'm just getting started. We still got a long way to go. And you missed the introduction. And for you, the ones that just joined, tonight's lesson, again, is talking about the vicious cycle that I've been preaching on for the last couple of weeks. But tonight we're going to focus on the importance of the woman's role in the church and in the family and in the world. Because so many times this society, and just to kind of reiterate for Pat and Sister Rhonda for what y'all missed, what I talked about, one of the very important, the most important proponent to building God's kingdom and getting the society back on track is the family. And this society has done everything it can to tear the family down. The one thing it's done is legalize homosexuality and have us convinced that it's okay and it's right. So you got 2 men together trying to raise kids, which is not what God had in mind when he put the family structure together. Or you got 2 women trying to raise kids, and you can't do that. So if they've done that, they've convinced the men that it's not okay to be men, and they've convinced the women that it's not okay to play their role as women. And they actually make women ashamed when they do the things that a woman's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. And I want to show y'all tonight from this lesson, and I haven't really gotten to the main part yet, but I want to show y'all tonight from this lesson how that is false And it's very important that the woman assume their role, because if they don't, then we're not going to be successful, and we will never get this country or this world back to where it needs to be. So the first three really was just a review from the previous lesson. So now we're going to get into some new stuff tonight for this lesson. So, and for you ones that got your Bible with you, I'm in Judges chapter 4, and I'm about to read verse 4 in Judges chapter 4. So verse 4 says this. It says, so Deborah, the wife of Lippy, I can't even pronounce the name, is Lippy Dioth, was a prophet who had become a judge in Israel. She would hold court under the palm of Deborah, which stood between Ramah and Bethel in the hill country of Ephraim. And the Israelites came to her to settle their disputes. So number 4 is this, and we're going to get to talking about our women tonight. Number 4 is this. This is something you women have to understand. The contributions of the women in the church is just as important as the contributions of the men. And I know that a lot of times you women don't get the credit that you really deserve, and you feel like your role just kind of puts you in the background or whatnot, and it does at times. But that's what I want to do with this lesson, show you that how important it is. Even though you're in the background, you're still getting victory, and you're still the reason why we're able to do this. You know what I'm saying? You're the reason why this world is still turning. You've heard that old saying, it's a man's world, but it ain't nothing without a woman. And that's what I want y'all to see. Because, why did they go to Deborah? You got to understand, because this is biblical times. And, if you really read the Bible, and depending on how you take it, you can see how people can say it's kind of chauvinistic, because the women didn't have a lot of authority. They didn't have a lot of say-so in things. But this woman was so great, because, it mentioned her husband, that one line, and you never hear nothing else about him. This whole chapter is about this woman, Deborah. And because of her and her faithfulness to God, she's going to be able to do something, bring Israel out of this oppression that they're currently stuck in. So I want y'all to understand, because it's very important for women to do their roles. Like, yes, I make a lot of decisions. I like to think I'm a wise dude, but y'all gotta understand, every decision I make, especially major decisions, I run it by my wife. You know what I'm saying? And it's not, again, they make me feel, oh, you got to run it by your wife. Yes, I run it by my wife. It's not because I have to. It's because I have a respect for her mind and who she is. And I know that she's going to look at the situation a lot differently than me. And see, they have taken the differences in a man and a woman, and they've used it to divide us against each other. When in reality, we need that. Because when men, we just think logically. Not that women don't think logically, but we think logic. You know what I'm saying? A plus B equals C, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? But women, they think a whole different way. They think with emotion. And because they think that way, sometimes they see things that we don't, well, all the time they see things that we don't see, and they see better situations where a man is like, hey, go in there, break everything, smash everything, and destroy everything. And the woman be like, hold on. Let's have a little compassion here. Let's do it this way. Let's do it, give them another option. So yes, I always take my wife, especially with major decisions. I take my wife into advice in the situation, and there's been several times that where my wife gave me ideas that I never would even thought of. I was like, man, that's great. Matter of fact, she's the reason why I'm doing this Facebook Live. You know what I'm saying? She's the one that put that out there, because I didn't know. My thing was always, man, I like to be in people's face. I want to be able to see them, and react with them, and that's it. So when the COVID came out and I couldn't go out and preach like I used to, I was just like, man, what am I going to do? And my wife, she was like, why don't you start a Facebook Live? I never would even thought of it. Just, just not my way of thinking. I got on Facebook to look at memes and laugh at people. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, Ashley. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you gotta understand. That woman, y'all have that intuition. I can't tell you how many times, and not necessarily with my wife, I've done it with my wife, but y'all know, if anybody know me, I have a lot of female friends. Like, I've always been that guy. Pat, you know this. I always had female friends. Never had girlfriends, but I had plenty of female friends. I stayed in the friend zone. You know what I'm saying? So I talk to women a lot. And you'll be talking to women, and they'll see a person, and they'll just meet this person for like, a few seconds. And that person walk off, they be like, oh, this person like this. Or don't mess with that person, that's a bad dude. You know what I'm saying? And women are real good on picking up on what I call gaydar. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, it's so weird. Like, they'll be like, oh, that person's gay or whatever. I'm like, how you get that from that conversation? And they're like, I just know. And then a little while later, you'll find out. And it's because y'all have intuition. That some women have. Like, women can tell when their kids, like when they have kids, they can tell when their kids are in trouble. They can feel it before even anything even happened. They come like, oh, Reza said, like, I got a bad feeling. Something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? And she won't be able to say exactly what it is, but she'll just know it'll be something telling her that, hey, something not going on. And then one of our kids that hit us up later on, they had some kind of problem. She felt that before it even came. See, we need that. Cause like me, and I'm bad at it. When I got a goal, I'm so focused on my goal or getting my task done, I'm not even really paying attention to what's going on around me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just focused on this is what I got to do to get this done. You know what I'm saying? And it takes her sometimes pulling me back like, hey, we need to slow down for a minute and we need to really sit down and talk about this, or we need to sit down and work on this or come up with a solution for this. So you know what I'm saying? She keeps me grounded. And I tell people that all the time. So it's so important. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand, they've got men, again, they got men afraid to be men these days. You know what I'm saying? I do some manly stuff. Like I said, if I'm in a mall or in a store and there's some chick walking around half naked, of course I'm going to look because I'm a man. I'm supposed to. You know what I'm saying? That's why you half naked to attract men. Now, you might not be trying to attract me personally, but you're trying to attract a man, and I am a man, so I'm going to look. And then my buddy right there, we're going to look together, and we're going to laugh and joke about it because that's what men do. You know what I'm saying? But now, oh, that's toxic masculinity. No, that's just me being a man. Yes, I like, you know what I'm saying, breaking stuff, and I like watching sports. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I was just, a couple of weeks ago, I was out there playing a football game. I'm 40-some years old. You know, got a family to provide for. I'm out here on the field like some knucklehead with these young folks about to kill myself. But I'm telling y'all this, I'm done. Like, that was the last game. Like, man, I can't do this no more. My thumb is still sore from like 2 weeks ago. And I was praying the whole time I was on the field like, Lord, please let me get out this field. But again, this is men. We like to just do men and stuff. But now today in society, if you do anything, man, you see a young man going down that path and he doing some feminine stuff and you try to correct him on it. Oh, that's toxic masculinity. Like that situation going on with D-Wade and his son. It ain't no way I can be in that situation. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no way. No, my kids, if they want to come out of the closet or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm still going to love them, but I'm not supporting that mess. But you know what I'm saying? But that's what they want you to do, because if you don't, it's toxic masculinity. And then again, you got women. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you supposed to. That's how God built you. This is not me saying get back in the kitchen and be quiet. No, that's how, if you read through the Bible, that's how he said for the woman to support the man. Now, of course, it got to be if he's worthy, but that's what you're supposed to do. But you got to understand, that's so important. All this stuff that I've done, me making it out of North Memphis and being able to become a chemist, head chemist, lab manager at this billion-dollar corporation, all that stuff I was able to do because I know I had a woman that had my back. I know I didn't have to worry about my kids being taken care of because my woman was doing that like she's supposed to. I didn't have to worry about, my food or what I'm going to eat and cook my own food because I had my woman to do that like she's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? And it seemed like a minor task, but I'm going to tell y'all, if I had to still worry about washing my clothes and worried about, cooking my food and picking my kids up and taking them to school and getting here and there and there, I wouldn't be able to do all this. And the main thing that will lose out is this ministry. And the only reason why I'm able to do this ministry because I have a woman that supports me. She's given her whole heart to support me, and she contributes. So everything I do, every time I win a soul to the Lord, every time I do a lesson and it helps somebody else build a relationship with the Lord, guess what? She's getting credit for that too, because I'm only able to do it because of her submitting herself to me and supporting me the way she do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you, I used to be that dude. I'm going to tell y'all what got me and how I realized how important it is just for a woman to be a woman. What happened was, before when me and Rez first got married, I had the attitude, well, I pay all the bills, you know what I'm saying? You don't really do nothing. You stay at the house, this and that and that. I had that attitude, and what happened was God showed me how important it is how important the work was she did. Because what happened, I ended up losing my job, and my wife at the same time got a job. So guess what happened? The roles got reversed, where Reyes was the one going out working, and I was the one staying at the house. And I'm going to tell y'all, man, it was only for a couple of months, But man, I was like, man, I never want to do that again. Man, being to the house with little ugly kids all day, and they coming and breaking stuff, and I clean up some, and it's right back dirty, and they running around acting all crazy. And I'm like, man, how does she do this? It drove me crazy. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord put me in that position to see. I was thinking, oh, you just at the house, sitting around watching TV and watching the kids. It ain't no big deal. But, man, it's a great deal of work going to being a stay-at-home mom. You know, it's a great deal of work being a wife. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot because, like I said, I had to do the cleaning. I had to, clean, try to keep the kids from killing each other all day and destroying the house and then have food ready for when she got home from work. You know what I'm saying? And that was a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I realized she did way more than I thought she did. But more important, I realized how important the stuff that she was doing was and how it gave me the ability to do what I did. And then a couple months later, I got another job, and I ain't went back ever since. You know what I'm saying? We've been on roles, but I thoroughly respect what she do for this family. I thoroughly respect what she do for me. And I know I wouldn't be as successful as I am today if it had not been for her. You see what I'm saying? And again, yes, I'm the one going out there working. I was the one going out there working 60 hours a week. It was one point during our marriage, I was working 100 hours a week, literally. You know, I'm not just saying like, oh, I was working about 100. I was literally working 100 hours a week because I was working 2 full-time jobs. Yes, I'm the one that made those sacrifices, sleeping for 2 or 3 hours and getting up and going to work. But I had the ability to do those things because I had a woman supporting me that was allowing me to do those things. So I wouldn't be able to do those things if I didn't have that. So you women got to understand how important your contributions are. What you do, again, I know a lot of times the men get the credit and everything. And even in here, a man gonna almost get the credit, you know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be a little bit of justice. But I understand that. But I'm gonna let you know I understand, and I hope people see it's not just some secondary role. That stuff that you do as a woman, being a mother, being a wife, being a counselor, all those things, it is just as important as me out here doing the preaching and knocking on the doors, you know what I'm saying, and going to work all week. It's just as important because I can't do what I do if you don't do what you do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what society has done, is separating us. So now you got the men trying to do it on his own, and it might get a little bit of success, but it ain't as successful as he could have been had he had a woman supporting him. Or you got a woman trying to raise her kids and be a single mama and do everything on her own. And again, she might be a little bit successful, but if she won't be able to be as successful as she could have been, and she just attached herself to a man. So you got to understand, it's very important. And I'm tired of our society downplaying the role of women in the church and the role of women's in the home. And that's what I want to do this lesson, help you understand that I see and I know, and the word of God knows how important it is for that role of a woman. So that's why I named this A Woman's Place. So we got this woman named Deborah, and she was so wise, she had so much intuition that the people was coming to her. And again, y'all got to understand the significance of that, because this was back in biblical days. And there are a lot of time when women they're like nothing. So for a woman to have this position to be a judge, a leader over Israel, that shows you how great of a woman this was. And we're going to see how much influence she had. So it says, so one day she sent for Barak, son of Abinoam, who lived in the Kadesh in the land of Naphtali. And she said to him, this is what the Lord, the God of Israel, commands you. Assemble 10,000 warriors from the tribe of Naphtali and Zebulun at Mount Tabor. I will lure Sisera, commander of Jabin's army, along with his chariots and warriors to the Kishon River, and there I will give you victory over him. So number 5 is this, because that's an important statement. Number 5 is this: you do not devalue yourself when you submit to a man. You actually become more valuable, because you got to understand, she was the judge. She was the one that obviously had the wisdom. She was the one that the people were coming to. But what did the Lord tell her to do? Go tell this man so he can get the victory. So you see what I'm saying? So she didn't whine and complain, oh Lord, I'm the one, you know what I'm saying? I'm the one that doing all, I'm the one that, no, she did. The Lord said, go tell him so he can get the victory. And she even said, you gonna get the victory. She didn't even include herself in it. Even though, like I said, because she supported him, because she was submitting herself to this man, she's still a part of that victory, because she's the one that went and found him and told him what he needed to know so he can get this victory. So I want y'all to understand, you do not devalue yourself when you submit to a man. You make yourself more valuable, Because when you get that man and y'all get that partnership together, y'all need each other. Like I said, I can't do this work that I do. I can't have the success. I wouldn't have the success that I have if it wasn't for my wife. And I would tell y'all that if y'all ever hear me say anything otherwise, I want y'all to just come up and just slap it out of me. If y'all ever see me get the big head and get prideful and be like I'm a self-made man, I did all this by myself. Because I'm telling you right now, that would be a bold-faced lie. Everything I was able to accomplish, everything I've been able to accomplish, everything I've been able to do, the reason why my family the way it is, the reason why we've had the success we've had is because I've had a strong, intelligent woman that's been supporting me and backing me the whole time. Any dream I have, because man, you got to understand this, and I want y'all men, for you men that's watching, you got to understand when a woman submits to herself, and this is why the society, this is why they use it against us, and this is why they convince women that they value themselves by doing it. When a woman submit herself to you, she start having your babies, and especially if she become a stay-at-home mom, basically what she's doing, she's giving up on her dreams to support your dreams. You see what I'm saying? And then you have to realize that, because I'm pretty sure Rez, when she come up, she didn't think, oh well, I just want to stay at that. And some women they might like because they raised like that just to be a woman and you should stay at the house and all that. But every woman, that's not their dream. Is just be at the house, cleaning and then cooking and washing stuff all day. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't her dream. She probably had a dream because I know she was doing nursing when I first met her. You know what I'm saying? She might have wanted to be a nurse or eventually be a doctor or something. And then I came along and she submitted herself to me. So she put all her dreams on hold so I can follow my dream. So she can push me in my dream. You see what I'm saying? And because she did that, guess what? My dreams come true. You know what I'm saying? My dreams have come true. I'm actually a chemist. I've been so for almost 18 years now. I'm a chemist and I'm working for the head chemist at a $1 billion corporation. Just hired my first, I ain't gonna lie, I really feel like a baller. Just hired my first employee this week. How cool is that? I never imagined being in that position. And the only reason why I'm in that position is because of my woman. So, and if y'all wondering for you ones that came in late, y'all heard my voice a little scratchy. I lost my voice Monday because I've been training my new employee all week. So I've been struggling with this voice thing. So y'all gonna have to bear with me. So I'm sipping on me some tea and lemon. So again, but my woman did that. So don't devalue yourself. Don't let society devalue you and tell you that you're worthless and you're nothing and you're stupid because you find you're a good man. Now again, you notice what I'm saying? A good man, a worthy man. I'm not just saying do this for any the Tom, Dick, and Harry. I'm just not saying just any man that comes along like, okay, I'm gonna submit myself. No, find you a good man, a man that's trying to serve the Lord, that's doing that he does what is right. A man that's gonna take care of his responsibilities. A man that's gonna be there for you just like you there for him. When you find somebody like that, it is perfectly okay for you to submit yourself to that person because y'all two working together is what's gonna make the dream work. You know what I'm saying? Teamwork make the dream work. And that's what you're going to need. He's going to need your insight. He's going to need your intuition. He's going to need that different way, different perspective of looking at things so he can make the best decision. That's why I say every major decision I make, I always make sure I run it by my wife. Again, not because I'm scared of my wife or I got to get her approval, but because I respect her opinion. I respect her mind and I respect the wisdom that she has. And she can always, and again, and sometimes her ideas are better than mine. Sometimes it ain't, you know what I'm saying? But she always give me a different perspective of looking at things. And that's why you got to understand, when you submit yourself to a man, you're not devaluing yourself. You actually give yourself more value because that gives you more strength. Because not only do you have your own strength and strong will that you have anyway, now you have the strength and the will of this man behind you as well. And y'all can build together. And that's what Deborah's doing. She's obviously she's wise. She's a faithful woman because she talked to God. But God told her to go tell this man, because this dude wasn't even thinking about doing nothing. He wasn't thinking about going off and rescuing Israel. He wasn't thinking about it till this woman came along and told him that he had the ability to do it. You see what I'm saying? Matter of fact, y'all gonna laugh at this, and for y'all to know Rez, she'll probably get mad when I tell y'all this story. But I'm gonna tell y'all how I became a chemist, because I'm sitting here talking about the chemist and all that. All right, so I had a, you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all this story after the next point. Matter of fact, the next line I'm giving to you, then I'm tell you the story. So then it says in verse 8, it says, so Barak told her, I will go, but only if you go with me. So point number 6, and I think this story fit better here. Point number 6 is this: nothing motivates a man more than a woman that has his back and best interest at heart. You see what I'm saying? So you see Barak. Now she told him, the Lord, she knows that they're about to get this victory because the Lord said they're going to get this victory. So she could have easily went out and gathered to soldier herself and went herself. But what she do? The Lord told her to go tell this man, and she went and submitted to this man and told him to do it. But what did the man say? He said, no, I'm not going to go unless you go. You see what I'm saying? Because like I said, nothing motivates a man better than a woman that has his back. You know what I'm saying? Like I talk about my wife. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the stuff that I do because even though my wife, and I'm glad she don't, my wife don't desire fancy things. She don't desire, you know what I'm saying, no trips overseas and all that. She would love to, but that's not why she do what she do. She do what she do because she loves me and she loves our family. But at the same time, when I look at TV and I see the Kardashians and, you know what I'm saying, this celebrity and this celebrity, and they ain't do nothing but open their legs up to the right dude or in the right situation, and they get to walk around and all this fancy stuff and take these fancy trips and all that. You know, so I get upset because I like, my wife actually deserved those things. So I work hard. So hopefully someday I can get those things. And like I said, she don't ask for those things. She never said, oh, I wish I had a big, 24 karat diamond on my finger or nothing like that. But I would love to be in a position to be able to give her that. You know what I'm saying? I would love to give her the world on the platter because I knew she gave up her whole world to support me. I would love to be able to do it. And nothing motivates a man to do more. Like I said, when I first met my wife, I was content, honestly. If I had gas in my car, food in my refrigerator, and weed in my cigar, I was content. I was fine. I didn't care about nothing else. Clothes on my back, you know what I'm saying? The basic stuff. I was fine. I never cared about having no house or having property or none of that stuff. I was content as long as my kids had food and all that. I didn't start wanting more till she started motivating me to want more. And I'm going to tell you what she did. A funny story. I'll never forget it. So I had graduated from college. So I had already graduated from TSU, had my degree in chemistry. And yet I was still, like I said, I was happy. I was working, like I was a manager at Sonic, this Sonic Drive-In, the Sonic restaurant. And, you know what I'm saying? So I was making, enough money to just, we was just getting by. I ain't gonna say we was balling, but we was getting by. We wasn't hurting for nothing. So I was fine with that. And what happened was at the time we had the 3 boys. And this was right when she got pregnant with Giselle. This when this happened. So we already had 3 boys. So I already had the 3. And I'm basically, like I said, she wasn't working. The whole time we've been together, she never really worked. And I was just working at Sonic, bringing in a few dollars from Sonic. So I never forget it. So one night, right after, I think it was like the day or so after we found out she was pregnant with Giselle, we was getting ready to be intimate. You know what I'm saying? We were getting ready. Y'all don't need to know the detail. We getting ready to be intimate. So we land in the bed, you know what I'm saying, bucket naked. Basically, and I'm thinking, we about to get it on, and I noticed she just wasn't, her normal self, and I'm like, I can tell something was wrong, what was eating her, and I didn't want to ruin the mood, so I didn't want to ask what was wrong, but I could tell something was wrong, so I was like, what's going on? And she told me, said, well, I'm pregnant again, and we're barely getting by now. She's like, you got this degree in chemistry, why are you not using it? And then I was just making excuses like, man, I don't want to do no chemistry and just work around white folks all day and then me and blah, blah, blah. And I was just making excuses when really I was just being lazy because, again, I was content where I was at. We had food, we had a place to stay, we had weed, we was fine, even though we was living with her sister at the time, so we didn't even have our own place. But like I said, I didn't even care. I wasn't motivated to do more. And I never forget it. She's like, look, we already barely getting by. And this having another baby, all we're doing is taking food out of the other kid's mouth. And she said, I'm not going to keep on having babies for you if all we're going to do is just make it harder on us and take food out the other kid's mouth. And she got up and walked away. And I was just like, what the heck? You know what I'm saying? Just laying there. And I'll tell y'all this, and I ain't going to tell you more details what happened, but I will tell you this. 3 days later, I had a job working at my first job as a chemist working in the lab at Test America. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even 3 days later. No matter of fact, the next day, I was out putting in applications, and the very next week, I got a call from my first chemistry job that I started. I got a call for the interview, and 2 weeks later, I was a chemist, and I've been one ever since. Motivation. She knew how to motivate me. You know what I'm saying? But that's what women do, and that's just a little story of what happened to me. But that's what women do. When you got a woman, man, that you know, when you able to go home, go to work, you know what I'm saying, knowing that you got somebody waiting on you to get back home, and not only waiting on you, they gonna make sure when you get home, you got your little place of peace that you can sit down and get your mind together for a minute, and you know what I'm saying, gonna make sure, you know, your food is good, you know, your food is ready, clothes is washed, your house is taken care of. This gonna make you work. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my wife has not asked me for the world, but I would love to be able to give her the world. You know what I'm saying? Because she deserves it because of all she's done for me. So if God make a path for me to be able to have the world, then guess what? All I'm gonna do is give it to her. Because I don't care. I just want to build God's kingdom. You know what I'm saying? But again, when I gotta look at the Kardashians, hold on, y'all, let me get another sip. When I got sure look at the Kardashians, they have no talent, ain't did nothing. You know what I'm saying? They just was at the right place at the right time with their legs open, and they get to have all this stuff. And my woman got to sit here and work her finger to the bone. I mean, my wife, she suffered from diabetes to this day from all the kids she had. She ended up with gestational diabetes because of when she got pregnant with my two girls, and it turned into type 1 diabetes. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much sacrificed her body to bring my kids and my seeds to the world. She did all that for me. So why would I not want to do everything for her? And she motivates me. You know what I'm saying? I remember at one point I was working, like when I was working 2 jobs, I remember this one job. I absolutely hated this job, but they was paying a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I was struggling through it. I hated it. It just wasn't my type of job. It was doing a whole lot of work on computers, and I'm more of a hands-on moving around kind of thing. And I hated this job, but I was trying to work it out because they were paying a decent amount of money. And I ended up getting fired from it. I just wasn't motivated to do it. And I never forget because we needed the money, and I felt like a failure. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, you got a lot of women these days, you do something like that, you find out your supply of money is cut off, they get upset, they shut down, they're not intimate with you like they used to be, and they get mad at you and start arguments. She didn't do that at all. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, the first thing I'm sitting there, I'm all down. She's like, look at me. She said, I want you to think, she said, I want you to let you know right now that you did not fail this family. She said, honestly, I'm glad you lost that job. Because you about to kill yourself anyway, working 80, 90 hours a week. Said, now you can get some rest. Now you can be around this family. We're going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? She never cut off the loving from me. She never cut off the intimacy. And that motivated me to get out there and find another job so I can do more. See what I'm saying? That's what a woman does. It motivates. You get the right woman. I tell my kids this all the time, my boys, especially my boys. I said, man, if you get the right woman behind you, man, you can take her, you can rule the world. I said, at the same time, you get the wrong woman, they'll tear you down. I said, you get the right woman, they'll build you up. I said, you get the wrong woman, they'll tear you down. But either way it go, a woman will have a major influence in a man's life. And I always tell, when you see these dudes that do these great things in the world, and you know what I'm saying, a lot of times like, well, they never married and all that. I always think if they did that just as a regular dude, how much more would they have done and how much more would they have accomplished if they had a woman behind them? Because I know, like I said, yes, before me and Rez got really tight, yes, I was getting my way through college. You know what I'm saying? I was going through college. I was doing my thing. But when we got together, that motivated me to do even more. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that. Y'all remember that one song Fabulous used to have? I'm a movement by myself, but with you, I'm so much better. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I'm pretty good by myself, but with my wife, I'm so much better because she motivates me to do more. She shows me that I have potential to do more. And that's what a woman do. And that's what she was doing. That was going on her with this Barack guy. He was like, look, you know what I'm saying? I know you're a good woman. I know you're a good, faithful woman. I know you talk to God and God talk to you. So, yeah, I go get this victory, but I'm not going to go unless you go. You see what I'm saying? He knew that if she went, then he had a good, strong woman behind him, and he knew he can get that victory. That's why when I leave out my house every day, when I go out there to preach God's words, when I get on here and do these videos, I'm able to do that because I'm confident that I got a good, strong woman behind me. And that's why it's so important, fellas, when you get married, man, you make sure you treat that woman like that queen because she is your queen, and she's going to be the one when all your friends, a lot of guys, they'll get married, but they still want to give their heart and their time to their friends and to all these other things and not give it to the one that deserve it. Because when all those other things are taken away from you and all those friends are gone, the only person that's going to be there to lift you up is that woman. So you got to make sure you take care of her because she's going to motivate you when you fall down to get back up. Because guess what? When you fall, she falls with you. But when you get up, when you make it up, you make it to the top, guess what? excuse me, I'm sorry, she makes it to the top with you. You know what I'm saying? But she going to motivate you to be more than you ever thought you can be. And again, my wife has done that. I never in a million years would imagine being a chemist at a $1 billion corporation, having my own lab and all that stuff. I never imagined that stuff, but I got it because my wife showed me that I can do it. And the way she did that, because she gave up her dream to support my dreams. You know what I'm saying? Because she saw a potential in me that I didn't even know I had. So again, a woman is important. So nothing, again, number 6 is this: nothing motivates a man more than a woman that has his back and his best interest at heart. You see what I'm saying? That's motivation. And that's what gave Barak this motivation. He said, I'll go, but only if you come with me. He needed her for that motivation. So what did she tell him? She said, very well, she replied, I will go with you, but since you have made this choice, you will receive no honor. For the Lord's victory over Sisera will be at the hands of a woman. So Deborah went with Barak to Kadesh. So number 7 is this. Though you may not be at the forefront, you still get the victory. So again, that's kind of like what I was talking about earlier. You know what I'm saying? When you stuck at the house with the kids, and when you stuck at, like a lot of times when I go out, cause me and my wife, she be so busy, we got our schedule so busy, a lot of times we're not with each other. You know, a lot of times, the only time you see us with each other really is at church. We're with each other's church, or, you know, if there's some kind of event where the family goes to. But a lot of times she got her thing she's doing, and I got my thing I'm doing until we get to the house. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times when people see my wife, like, oh, dang, there go his wife. She do exist kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? But everybody see me. Everybody know John. Everybody know what John's doing. But guess what? The reason why John's able to do that thing, because his Reyes is at the house, taking care of the kids. Because she is at the house preparing dinner. So when I get through one in my mouth, I can go eat. You know what I'm saying? So she gives me the ability to do what I'm doing. So though you might not be at the forefront, she still get the victory. Because again, I'm a chemist, and who get the benefit from that? You know what I'm saying? She get the benefit from it. You know what I'm saying? If I become some big, huge preacher all over the world, guess what? She going to be right there by my side. If I win, she wins. If I lose, she lose. You know what I'm saying? Even though she might be in the kitchen and all that. But again, that's important. Because I need that support. I don't have the time to do that. Because if I got to focus on, washing my clothes and doing this and take care of the kids and getting the kids here and there, I won't have time to focus on getting this word done. I won't have time to go out there and knock on doors and lead people to the Lord. I've led over 400 and some people to the Lord. And guess what? Even though Rez has never knocked on a single door with me, she gets credit for that as well. Because she was taking care of the house while I was out doing those things. So women, please stop letting society make you feel like you're nothing because you choose to stay at the house and take care of your kids like you're supposed to. And I will say like you're supposed to, because that's how God set it up. And he set it up like that for a reason. That's why he made us so different. That's why men are so much bigger and stronger, because we was made to go out there and fight the elements of the world and work and toil with our hands. And that's why he made women so small and dainty, because y'all were made to be at the house, be taken care of, to take care of the kids, to have that compassion. We need both of those things. You're not less important because you don't get out there and do those things. You are more important because you motivate me to get out there and do the work that I need to do, because I know everything else is going to be taken care of because you got my back. So again, number 7, though you might not be at the forefront, though you might not get the credit that the man get, you still get the victory. And that's what you got to understand. And that's what the society is doing. Girl, don't do it. You get out there in front. You know what I'm saying? You be Miss Independent. You get out there and tell them you don't need no man. You know what I'm saying? Well, really, that's a lie. And then what it does, it separates us, and it almost have this war of women and men, and we can't be with each other, and we can't support each other. And in reality, we need each other. And the only way we're going to truly be successful is if we work with each other. So everything that she does for me is just as important as the work that I do to take care of her and the kids. And you got to understand that. And that's what she told him. She said, look, all right, I'll go. But, you know what I'm saying, the victory is going to come at the hand of a woman. And all she's doing is going. She's not going to go fight. You know, you got to understand, she's not going to go out there. Barak and his men, these 10,000 men that she told him to gather, they're going to be the one doing the fighting. She's not going to go fight. But guess what? She's still going to get the victory. The victory is going to still, matter of fact, if you see the very next chapter, and I'm not going to go through chapter 5, but the very next chapter is called the Song of Deborah. So all she did was went with the man. All she did was submitted to the man, and yet she got credit for that victory because she did what she was supposed to do. She played her role. So then it says in the next verse, it says, so So it says, so Deborah went with Barak to Kadesh. So it said, at Kadesh, Barak called together the tribes of Zebulun and Naphtali, and 10,000 warriors marched up with him. And Deborah also marched with them. So number 8 is this. Again, and I said this earlier, and I'm going to reiterate again. If you find a man that's worthy, there's no better place for you to be than by his side. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to, because you got to understand, she marched up with them again. She didn't go, she marched up with them. In other words, she was with them. She was in the camp. If you know, especially back then, they set up camp and they would have a tent for the commander and all that. She was at the camp, but she didn't go out there and fight the war. She didn't grab a spear and a shield and go out there and fight. She just went there to motivate the men that were doing the fighting. They keep them encouraged. And that's what you women do. You know what I'm saying? So if you find a man, now notice I said though, somebody that's worthy. Every man, especially these days, I would tell you, these days, every man ain't worthy. So you got to make sure you find one that's worthy. But if you find a man that's worthy, you find a man that's going to be responsible, if you find a man that's going to take care of his business like he's supposed to with a man, there's no better place for you to be than at his side. Because again, you're still going to get that victory. If that man is successful, you get to be a part of that success. You know what I'm saying? You're the one that motivate him to have that success. You know what I'm saying? You don't, because you got to think about it. If you by his side, you don't have to deal with the pressure, being at the front. You don't have to take the shots that he take. But guess what? You still get the benefits. Now, when Barak go out there to the war, he's going to be the one that's getting shot at with the arrows. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be the one that's going the guy's going to be coming at him with swords. This guy, Sisera, look what it said about Sisera. It said he had 900 iron chariots. Barak is going to be the one fighting it. Deborah ain't going to be the one fighting it. But guess what? If Barak go out there and get that victory because Deborah supported him, guess what? She gets part of that victory as well. So her role is just as important. So you got to understand that if you find a man that's worthy, you know what I'm saying, there is no better place for you to be than by his side. Because again, you won't have to deal with all the pressure that he deal with. You won't have to take all the shots that he take, but yet you still get to get the victory. If he get the victory, you get some of that as well. You know what I'm saying? If he's some kind of contractor working for a big contract and you support him and help him as he put his reports together and he get that contract, then guess what? You're going to benefit from it as well. So again, stop letting society take you away from your role as woman, make you miss the benefits of being a woman, because we need that. There are things that women can do that men can't do. You know what I'm saying? And we need that to motivate us to keep going farther. And we need that so we can have that different perspective. We need that so we can truly go forward and live up to our potential, because we have that one that pushing us and motivating us to do better. So again, if you find a man that's worthy, there's no better place for you to be than by his side. So then it says in verse 11, it says, so now Heber the Kenite, a descendant of Moses' brother-in-law, Hobab, had moved away from the other members of his tribe and pitched his tent by the oak of Zamanim near Kadesh. And that's just a little something they put in there, but it's a reason for them putting it in there, because it's going to come up again in a second. So it said, now when Sisera was told that Barak, son of Beniham, had gone up to Mount Tabor, he called for all 900 of his iron chariots and all of his warriors, and they marched from Harosheth to Kishon River. So number 9 is this. And this is something I've been talking about the whole time. But again, women, this is important. Don't let this world belittle you for playing your role. You know what I'm saying? Don't let this world, again, I know they all say a woman should be in her place, and they make it sound so negative. But it's true. It's some truth to it. They should be in a place, but it's not that place is not significant. And that's the whole point of this lesson, to help you see. And we're going to see by the time we get to the end, being in your place is what makes it significant. It is vital for you to be in your place, and it's not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? For a woman to be in her place is important. So don't let this world belittle you for playing your role. Don't let this world belittle you because you decide that you're going to be a stay-at-home mom and you're going to have the kids and you're going to take care of the house and you're going to do this and you're going to do that to make sure this family keep going, because it's vital. Because I'm going to tell y'all something, man. Yes, I pay the bills in this house and, you know what I'm saying, this is my house and all that, but my wife runs this house. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I get to say so. I get veto power. You know, ultimately, I'm the one to make the decision. Of course, if I say something ain't going, it ain't going. If I say something need to be done, it's going to be done. Yes. But when you look at down at on the day-to-day, my wife runs this house. You know what I'm saying? This is her house. I bought this house. I'm going to tell y'all something, man. This is what I got to understand. This is to show you the power of women. If there was only men on this planet, first of all, that would suck. I wouldn't be here. I'll kill myself immediately. But if there was a situation and it was only men on this planet would look nothing like it does now. You wouldn't have no skyscrapers and all these beautiful parks and all that. This man would be nothing but coliseums and tents. There wouldn't be no houses because we don't mind roughing it out. We don't mind being out in the wilderness. We think that make us a man. You know, oh, I'm out in the wilderness, man. It wouldn't be nothing. We have all these skyscrapers and these beautiful buildings and these beautiful citadels, all that stuff because of women. Because some dude somewhere like wanting to impress some woman, he wanted to be able to drive by something and say, hey, I built that. Or, you know what I'm saying, I made the plan for that. I engineered that. All this beautiful stuff that we have, all this nice stuff that we have in this world, we have it because of women. Because some men want to take care of some women. Like I said, us men, we're simple. You know what I'm saying? If all we got to do was fight and kill each other and fight and watch sports all day, that's all we would do. You know, eat, sleep, drink, and fight. You know, if we wanted women. But because women are here, we're motivated to do more. We want this world to be a better place. We want this world to be a safer place because we want to take care of our women. So don't let this world belittle you for being a woman. You know what I'm saying? It's insane. Like, when I think of, you know, the woman being a mother, there's nothing better than being, I don't care how many billions of dollars that you can get out there and be independent and get. There's no better feeling than being a mother. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing you can do. A woman can do more better than being a mother. That's such a wonderful thing. That's such a wonderful gift. I mean, think about it. Excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm drinking this tea that's coming back up on me. You know, think about it. Look at Mother's Day. Look how Mother's Day gets celebrated. When Daddy's Day come around, nobody don't give a crap about Dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares about Father Day. You can go to, I was watching this one comedian. He said, man, Father Day come around, you can go to any restaurant you want to. You ain't got to have no reservation. He said, you can go out there like, man, can I get in? Oh, you can come on in. There ain't nobody here. But on Mother's Day, man, you can't get a reservation to go out somewhere on Mother's Day. You know what I'm saying? You can't go somewhere and it's not having a Mother's Day sale. Why? Because it's so special what a mother does. It's so special that you have that ability to be a mother. And us, y'all women, society has convinced you that it's not a big deal, and you throwing that blessing away. You throwing that gift away. You know what I'm saying? And you degrade yourself as women. You know, it shocked me that a man, and I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, that a man won Woman of the Year. There was some award they give out. I don't know who gave it out, but no, Bruce Jenner, who now called herself Caitlyn, won Woman of the Year. If I was a woman, I would be infuriated at that. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to understand, if a man can do it, what makes it so special? It ain't nothing special about being a woman. And I'm here to tell you, it's something very special about being a woman. That's why Mother's Day is celebrated the way it is. That's a special thing, to be able to bring another life and to carry a life in your body and bring it into this world. That's a very special thing, and that's a blessing. That's the only reason why I'm here today, because my mama carried me in her body and protected me and fed me and kept me safe till I got to a point where I can do it myself. It's something very special about that. And we got our society taking that away from our women, telling you that you're nothing, that you're dumb if you decide to have, instead of following your career, you stay at home and have some dude's kid. You know what I'm saying? When in reality, man, that's one of the greatest gifts that they can have. You know what I'm saying? To be able to be a mother and take care of somebody's kids. So stop letting society and this devil make you think that it's not okay to be a woman. Not only is it okay, it's one of the best things for us. Because if we can't get back the men being men and women being women, I'm telling you, if we don't make that turn and get back to that before too long, man, I'm telling you, this society, it already looked like it's doomed, and it's definitely going to be doomed if we can't get that. That's what it's going to take. We got to get back to men being men and women being women. Men be taking care of their responsibilities, taking care of their women, not abusing their women and putting their women down, and women doing their part, submitting to the men and making sure they're doing everything they can to support their men so that men can go forth and be successful. It's very important. We need each other. I'm not better than my wife, and my wife is not better than me. It's a 50-50 relationship, and that's how all relationships should be. If you get to a point you figure you the most important piece of that relationship, then your relationship probably is not going to work too much longer. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand, it's a 50-50. We need each other. But that role of that woman, and I'm telling you, sometimes I really do feel that maybe it might be 49-51 in her favor. Because even though I'm definitely dedicated and I give my everything to this family, she has as well. She even sacrificed her body. I didn't have to have kids. You know what I'm saying? Go from having a nice body to my body being all messed up and decrepit because I've had all these gigantic kids. But she did that for me. You see what I'm saying? So it's very important. Don't let this world belittle you and make you think that it's not something special and it's not a great thing to be a woman, because it is. You see what I'm saying? So again, don't let this world belittle you for playing your role. And I'm going to show you why it's so important to play that role. It's hot here. I should have cut my fan on. I'm sweating, y'all. So again, so they went through and said, and the reason why at that point, because when Sisera heard that Deborah was there and she was there with Barak, the first thing he do, got all these people, he wanted to go and discourage them. You see what I'm saying? He wanted to go discourage them from fighting this war. But the Lord had already told them they're going to get this victory. So then in the next verse it says, verse 14 says, so then Deborah said to Barak, get ready. Today the Lord will give you victory over Sisera, for the Lord is marching ahead of you. So Barak led his 10,000 warriors down to the slopes of Mount Tabor into battle. So again, we go back to number 6. What did she do? She motivated him. She didn't say, get ready, we finna go out and go fight. She said, no, get ready and you finna go get this victory. You know what I'm saying? The Lord has already told, go get this victory. So what she do? Go back to number 6. What did I say for number 6? Nothing motivates a man more than a woman that has his back and his best interests at heart. He knew that what she was telling him was truth. He believed in it because he believed in her. And he believed in her because she believed in him. So she was able to motivate him to go out and get this great victory. And watch what happened. So it says, so when Barak attacked, the Lord threw Sisera and all his charioteers and warriors into a panic. Then Sisera leaped down from his chariot and escaped on foot. Barak chased the enemy and their chariots all the way to Hirosheth, killing all of Sisera's warriors, and not a single one was left alive. You see what happens? So number 10 is this. When you fully submit to and support your man, you are just as responsible for the victory as he is. And again, that's what I was telling you earlier. I got a little bit ahead of myself, but I'm saying, when you see John Stewart, the chemist, my wife is just as responsible for me being a chemist as I am. Yes, I might have been the one that took the classes. You know, so yes, I might have been the one that worked to put myself through college, but I was able to do those things because she was motivating me to do those things the whole time. You know what I'm saying? I was able to do those things the whole time. Yes, it is me, Miss Jasmine. How you doing? You know what I'm saying? But again, you got to understand how important it is for a woman. So she motivated. She told him, hey, get up and go get this victory. And what happened? He got up and got that victory. She motivated him to be better than what he was. Before she found Barak, before she went to Barak, what was he doing? Nothing. He wasn't fighting to free Israel. He had no dreams of grandeur. He had no delusions of grandeur that he can go and get Israel out of this oppression that they had been under for the last 20 years. He had no idea that he had the ability to go fight a dude that had 900 iron chariots and get the victory, be able to completely destroy his army. He had no motivation to do that, but guess what happened? That woman got behind him. She motivated him, and because she motivated him, he was able to do it, and guess what? She's going to get a part of that victory as well. And like I said, and the proof, if you look at chapter 5, it's not called the Song of Barak. You know what I'm saying? It's not called the Song of Barak. What's it? It's called the Song of Deborah. You see what I'm saying? It's the Song of Deborah. The reason why he was able to get that victory, because she motivated him to get that victory. So when you support your man, when you submit to your man, you find you somebody that's worthy, and you put your dreams aside to support his dream, and he's become successful, then guess what? You're a part of that success. You're every bit a part of that success as he is, even though you didn't really have to do the work. You know what I'm saying? All you did, but you motivated him to get out there and do the work. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say, y'all, don't let this world make you think you're nothing because you stay at the house and you take care of the kids and you do the cooking. You know what I'm saying? That is just as important as me going, my wife standing here and cooking and cleaning is just as important as me getting up and taking my butt to work and going out there and knocking on doors and me getting on here and preaching. All that stuff is important because I can't do those things if she's not doing those things. It's so important. But here you go. Y'all might not be convinced just yet of how important it is for a woman to be in her place. So I'm going to show you how a woman being in her place, doing her job, playing her role. I'm going to show you how important it is. Check this out. So it says in verse 17, it says, so meanwhile, Sisera ran to the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber the Canaanite. Now, you remember they threw that little verse over there in verse 11. They were talking about this Heber the Canaanite that moved away. He had his own little tent. So now it comes up in the story again. So it said, meanwhile, Sisera ran to the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber the Canaanite, because Heber's family was on friendly terms with King Jabin of Hazor. Now Jael went out to meet Sisera and said to him, come into my tent, sir. Come in. Don't be afraid. So he went into her tent, and she covered him with a blanket. Please give me some water, he said. And please give me some water, he said. I'm thirsty. So she gave him some milk to drink and covered him again. So number 11 is this. And then I'm getting to the point. I'm show you how important it is for a woman to play a role. Number 11 is this. If you would not play your role by being in your place, then we both will lose. Just you got to understand, you women, if you out there and you feel you got to be independent and you're not going to submit yourself to no man and you're not going to stay at home just to take care of no kids and do that thing. If you do that, I'm sorry, I don't know, man. I don't know what happened. I kept going, so I don't know. I didn't see it freeze. So maybe the video will catch up and look like you said I froze. You know what I'm saying? But again, if you do that, if you won't do that, then we both lose. Because we're going to see they're able to get this victory because this woman, she was in her place. She was doing the things that she's supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand, women, when this world convince you to be independent, don't submit to a man, don't have no baby, work on your career, if you won't do those things, the things that a woman should be doing, then I can't do the things that a man should be doing, and we both lose out, and we won't get that victory. You know what I'm saying? You won't be exactly. They ain't doing it these days, Pat. And that's the whole point of this lesson. The reason why they ain't doing it, because society has convinced them that it's not a good thing to do. Now let me show you. And this is what the main point I want to get to. Because watch what happened. So this is Jael. So she's at her tent. Most likely the men off playing war, you know what I'm saying, whatever, her husband off at the war. And of course, as a woman, what she's supposed to do? Stay home, take care of the house, cook, clean, whatever, until they get back. You know what I'm saying? So they get back. So check this out. So it says, so he comes in, he said, please give me some water, he said, because I'm thirsty. So she gave him some milk to drink and covered him again. Now check this out. So he said, he told her, stand at the door of the tent. He told her, if anybody comes and asks you if there's anyone here, say no. But when Sisera fell asleep from exhaustion, Jael quickly crept up to him with a hammer and a tent peg. Then she drove the tent peg through his temple and into the ground, so he died. So what happened? She was in the perfect position to get the victory because she was where she was supposed to be. So number 12 is this. It's going to take women getting back to playing her role and staying in her place for us to get the victory. See, she could have easily, if she'd have been one of them independent women, now, if you going off the war, I'm going off too. I'm not going to stay here and clean no house. I'm not going to stay here and do this. I'm not going to stay here and cook. You know, I'm going where you going. I can do what you can do. If a man can do it, I can do it too. See, if that was the attitude she had, then guess what? Israel might have never won this war. But because she was where she was supposed to be at, she was at the house, taking care of the house. This dude came by. She was able to look. He asked for some milk. Some water. What she gave him? Milk. Why did she give him milk? See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, fellas, the intuition and the wisdom of women. Because I'm pretty sure, now they didn't talk about her family, but I'm pretty sure she had kids. And she probably knew that whenever her kids had a problem sleeping, she would give them some good warm milk and they would go to sleep. So when he asked for water, what did she give him? Milk. Why? So he can go to sleep. Why? So they can get that victory. You see what I'm saying? It's all about her mothering abilities, her knowing that if she gave this man some milk and she covered him up and got him nice and warm, he was going to fall asleep. He's been running from he's been fighting all day, and then he ended up having to losing his chariot, have to run. So he knew he was exhausted. So all she had to do was just go on, make him comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Make him feel like he was comfortable, and he's going to fall asleep, and then they can get that victory. See, that's all because of mothering. It's just like, we had my grandkids the other day. You know what I'm saying? I had my grandkids up here, and my grandson, he's almost 1. He's about 10 months now. And man, I'm sorry, y'all. You can always tell when he's tired because he gets fussy and he rubbing his eyes and he pulling at his hair and stuff. So we knew he was tired, but he wouldn't go to sleep. So what did my wife do? She went and made up a bottle of warm milk. And what happened? He got that. She held him in his arm. He got him comfortable. gave him that bottle of warm milk, and guess what happened? A few minutes later, he was asleep. You know what I'm saying? We got the victory because he finally went to sleep because he was driving us crazy. You see what I'm saying? That's mothering. So that mothering ability that she had, she used that mothering ability that she had to give Israel this war. This guy had been brutally oppressing Israel for 20 years. He had 900 iron chariots. You know what I'm saying? All these soldiers. But guess how he got defeated? Because of motherly love. It wasn't the man's brute strength that defeated him. It was the motherly love that defeated him. Go on, baby. Go lay down. Go get under the blanket. Get comfortable. You need some drink? Here you go. Take this warm milk. And when she gave him that warm milk, he drank it. He was out. Bam, she got him. Drove a tent. I mean, he was so asleep that she was able to go up and take a tent peg and drive it through his head. Now, I don't know how big she was. I don't know if she's a big girl. They don't say. I don't know how strong she was. But you got to have some kind of strength to be able to drive basically a nail through a man's skull and through his head, through his temples. You know, so now I know the temples is a soft spot, but you got to have some strength there. So I'm pretty sure even I don't care how strong she was, I'm pretty sure she didn't just, bam, that was it. I'm pretty sure it took some hammering. You know what I'm saying? But he was so knocked out, he was so exhausted, so tired, and he was so comfortable because of that motherly love that she had the time and the ability to do this, and Israel got the victory. You see what I'm saying? And why was she able to do that? Why was she in a position to help Israel get this victory? Why? Because she was in her place. She was at home, taking care of her home like she was supposed to. And because she was where she was supposed to be at, doing what she was supposed to be doing, she was able to help the men get the victory that they seek. So then we see here in the next verse, it said, so when Barak came looking for Sisera, so now here come Barak. So again, the man didn't even do it. He came looking, said when Barak came looking for Sisera, Jael went out to meet him. And she said, come, and I will show you the man you are looking for. So he followed her into the tent and found Sisera laying there dead with the tent peg through his temple. So number 13 is this. Your submission to a man actually puts you into a position to lead. You know what I'm saying? Your submission to a man puts you in a position to lead. Because what did he say? She said, come and I will show you the man you're looking for. So he followed her. See what I'm saying? He followed her. It puts you in a position to lead. Because I know sometimes this could be a chauvinistic world. I know it. And I know sometimes men, they just don't want to hear what the woman got to say. They don't think, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, all that. But when you just submit and you get those ideas to your husband, you know what I'm saying? You get to whisper in your husband. You get to be that parrot on your husband's shoulder and you get to whisper to your husband. Then guess what? You know what I'm saying? It puts you in a position to lead. Because the same thing your husband's doing is the thing that you tell him to do. So even though you're not doing it directly, you're not in the forefront, you're still leading from behind the scenes, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? You almost like the puppet master, so to speak. So see, when you submit to that man and you don't mind being in your place, you're actually becoming a leader as well. If your man is the leader, you're going to be the leader because you're supporting your man. And again, wherever he goes, you're going to go with him. Whatever victory he gets, you get as well. So that's why it's so important, y'all women. Don't let this world take that from you. Don't let this society take that from you. Don't listen to these butch-looking women that tell you, get out of the kitchen. You don't belong there. You belong out in the world, make your own way. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you can do those things. And I don't believe that you should submit yourself to a man just to submit yourself to a man. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I am saying is, if you come across a dude that's doing what he's supposed to be doing, he's responsible. He's serving the Lord. He's working his butt off to be more than what he is. Man, don't feel bad if you won't, or don't let this world make you think that you're a sucker because you give up on your dream to support his. You see what I'm saying? Because like I said, my wife saw something in me that I didn't even know was there. She saw a talent or whatever it was in me. Matter of fact, I'll never forget this. And one day, and I never understood what it meant. And now that I'm doing this lesson, I understand it even more. I remember because if y'all don't know me and my wife's relationship, it's just us being together. It's just weird altogether, so to speak. It just the way it happened, the way it worked out. I mean, God obviously was involved to put it together, but it was it just wasn't expected. I put it like that. It was just kind of a random occurrence. But basically, though, I remember one day I was sitting with my wife. And we were just sitting, we was kind of laughing over the fact that we still together after all these years. And I never forget, I asked her, I said, you know, I always wonder why did you give me the chance, whatever. Because really, I don't know if y'all know this, my wife is actually my first real girlfriend. She was the first person that I actually had a real monogamous, back and forth relationship with. I had dated girls before, I had hooked up, girls and all that stuff, but she's the first person that I actually been in an actual relationship with, and we've been in this relationship now, 2021, so 21 years. You know what I'm saying? So I asked her one day, like, what made you, give up all your dreams, all that stuff, and, you know what I'm saying, and just give me a chance. Because I never had a woman really give me a chance. Like I said, they would, I was friends with women, I would hook up with women, but I've never had them give me a chance to be their everything, so to speak. So I asked her, like, what made you want to give me a chance? And I never forget what she told me. She said, it was because of your potential. That's what she said. She said, I just saw you had potential. And I was like, potential for what? She was like, it was potential. There was some potential for greatness there. And when I met you and after getting to know you and talking to you, I saw that potential. And I wanted to be a part of that. And that's what she told me. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand, women see that. And she really did motivate me to live up to my potential. And she's still pushing me to this day. Because as successful as I believe I've already been, I really think I can do a lot more, and she does too. And she shows me every day, because every day she still gets up, she still take care of me, she still makes sure, the house is taken care of. She still makes sure that I get everywhere I need to be, and I get everything done I need to done. Whatever I need to do to keep my ministry going, she's there for me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know her, y'all that knows her, know her health ain't always the best. And sometimes she don't be feeling the greatest, but yet when I have my Lost Sheep ministry, she there to watch the kids if I need her to. You know what I'm saying? We right now we're in the holidays, so we got Thanksgiving. We just had Thanksgiving. We got Christmas. Gonna be here in a few weeks. She gonna be the one doing all the cooking. She do everything she can to motivate me. So it shows that she still see my potential. She still believe in my potential, and she's still the driving force behind what I do. And see, because this woman, again, she was in her place. She was at home taking care of her tent. Guess what happened? She was able to get this victory. She was able to help Israel get this victory and was able to kill this guy that had been brutally oppressing them for the last 20 years. Why? Because she was in her place. So don't let society make you feel like because you do what the Lord said a woman should do, that you're nothing or you're less than nothing. It's very vital, because if you don't do what you need to do, if you refuse to do what you're supposed to do as a woman, it's going to be hard for me to do what I'm supposed to be doing as a man. So then the very last verse, we see, so in verse 23 it says, so on that day, Israel saw God subdue Jabin, the Canaanite king. And from that time on, Israel became stronger and stronger against King Jabin until they finally destroyed him. So number 14, this is my last point. The strength of men is derived from the love and support of a woman. The strength of men is derived from the love and support of a woman. Why was they getting stronger and stronger? Why was they able to do the thing they was able to do? Why was they getting stronger and stronger? Because you had this woman that helped them get that victory. And because she gave them that victory, it showed them that, hey, we can do this. We just killed, this dude had 900 charges. A woman killed him. So if a woman can do that to him, imagine what we can do to this king. This king is nothing. She motivated them, and they was able, because she motivated them, they got stronger and stronger, and they was able to eventually get that victory. So the strength of men is derived from the love and support of a woman. How does she get that victory? Doing her part. She was being a mother. You see what I'm saying? She was being a housewife. She was being a mother. And because she was being a housewife and a mother, she was able to beat this guy that Israel hadn't even been able to come close to beating for the last 20 years. She did it by what? Being a mother. Being a housewife. Staying at home, take care of the house. And then what else she do? She was being a mother. Oh, you tired, baby? I'll drink you. Here you go, some warm milk. He asked for water. She gave him milk. Why? Because she knew that when he drank that milk, he's going to go to sleep. How does she know that? Because as a mother, that's what she did for her kids. So again, I want to finish this by saying this. And of course, this last point was also, we see our last part of the cycle, which was the blessings. So we started off in apathy. You know what I'm saying? It said that at the death of Ehud, they did what was even in the Lord's sight. Then we saw the destruction. The Lord gave this King Jabin control over the Israelites, and his general Sisera had he said it was brutally what was the word they used? Ruthlessly oppressed them for 20 years. So we saw the destruction. Then we saw where Israel cried out to the Lord again. So we saw the humbleness. And now we see here where the Lord answered their prayers. And through this woman playing her role, being in her place, Israel was able to get the victory. So women, I'm going to end by saying this. Don't let this world make y'all feel small or less important because you do your roles of staying at the house, being the housewife, being the mom. We can't do that. That's something men can't do, and we need you for it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I did it for 3 months, 3 months, and I never want to do it again because I'm not strong enough to do it. Yes, you may not be physically stronger than me. Women may not be physically stronger than men, but men are nowhere near as mentally and emotionally strong as women. You see what I'm saying? So that's what puts us on the same level. You know what I'm saying? When God created men and women, he didn't create us to be, he created us to be the head of the family, but he created us to be dominant over our wives. You know what I'm saying? If God wanted the women to be the head of the man, he would have took the bone from the head. If he wanted the man to be just dominant and just tower over his woman, he would have took the bone from the foot when he made the woman. But what did he do? He took a rib. Why? Because she was supposed to be at his side. You know what I'm saying? Not behind, not in front, but at his side. Just like we're supposed to be at her side. And y'all got to understand, we need to get that dynamic back. We need to get back to men being men and women being women. We have to get back to that. If we don't get back to that, then this world, I mean, it's already on its way. Look like it's on its way to hell in the handbasket. And if we don't get back to playing our roles, men being men, and more importantly, a woman being a woman, being a mother, being a caregiver, you know what I'm saying, being that compassionate one and that voice of reason, if we don't get back to that, then we have no hope. So I thank y'all for joining me tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed that lesson. And like I say, women, I would say from my heart, I don't speak for all men, but I will say for myself, I appreciate everything y'all do. I see it, and I actually empathize with y'all because I know it's hard for y'all right now because you don't have men that's worthy of you submitting to. You know what I'm saying? Most of the men these days are childish or they're just feminine. So I understand what you're going through, but I definitely appreciate it. And I would say, don't let this society make you belittle you or make you feel worthless because you do finally find you a good one that's worth submitting to, and you do submit to that one because that's your purpose. That's your role, to be the mother, to be the caregiver, to be the homemaker, and support that man in his dream. So when he achieves his dream, you can go right along with him. So of course, y'all, I'm gonna give my announcements. We got my daughter played the last game tonight. Unfortunately, they lost. It was the tournament, so that's why I said earlier I was out there in Linden. So I've had a busy day, and I just got home from Linden like right about 20 minutes before I started this lesson. So my day has been crazy. But my daughter lost, but my brother won. So they still, you know what I'm saying, they keep on going till they lose. So my brother plays again Monday, so I won't be coming live again this Monday. But next week is the very final week of basketball season. So after next week, we should get back on our regular schedule. But for now, until I know whether he's going to win or lose, I don't know what day I'm going to have the ministry next week, this video next week. So I'll just do like I've been doing. I'll just put it on Facebook, and you three, if you don't mind me tagging, I will tag y'all in there for our next lesson. But I will have a lesson at some point next week. I just don't know which day because it depends on if they lose or win as they go through this tournament. So, but attend in, or if there's anything, the next lesson, next week, God willing, when I come back to you, we're going to be looking at Gideon. We're going to, like I said, chapter 5 is called The Song of Deborah, and it just talks about how this woman, again, she didn't do the fighting. She just motivated the men that did go out there and get the fighting, but she was the one that got the credit for the victory because she was in her place and she did what she was supposed to do. You see what I'm saying? So it just talks about that in chapter 5. So number 6, we're going to get into Gideon. And we're going to see that, and basically, we're going to look at the cycle. We're going to see that the cycle again. But the chapter, I think it's 3 chapters that covers Gideon. And Gideon's, I think the overall theme of his life is just knowing your worth, knowing what are you worth to the work that God has for you to do. So, but if there's anything else that y'all, in particular, y'all want me to talk about, or I haven't covered, a story you want me to cover, just always inbox me and let me know, and I will work it into my lesson plan. Keep sharing the videos, telling others about the videos as well. I know normally I might have 3 or 4 on here, but I've noticed like once I post a video on Facebook, I usually get like 20, 30 more views later on. So that's a blessing, and I know it's because of y'all telling people about it and things of that nature. So I appreciate y'all for doing that. Keep doing that. Keep sharing it, because I think these are all messages that people need to hear. And if they can take these words and apply them to their lives and take them to heart, I think we can really get this country back to where it needs to be. So keep doing that. If you're not sure about your salvation, I know this wasn't a salvation message, but if you watch this video and you're not 100% sure that if you was to die, you was going to go to heaven, please reach out to me and let me know. And I will work out some time where I can talk to you and go over the gospel with you. Or if you'd rather go over the gospel with somebody else, I will work that out as well. But let me know, and I will do all I can to make sure you know what you need to know so you can get to heaven. And as always, this is my YouTube page. I'm happy to let y'all know I got my new computer. When I started going through it, I didn't realize how bad I was. I hadn't posted videos on my YouTube since like December. So I had like 55 videos that I need to upload to my YouTube. And I've started doing it, and I'm only like, I think I only got like 12 left. So I'm making progress. So hopefully over the next couple of weeks, it will be fully updated with all my latest lessons. But I'm doing pretty good on that. But this is my YouTube page. If you want to go back and watch an old lesson or something, it's a lot easier to find it on YouTube than on here because I got so much other stuff I get tagged in from time to time. So go to YouTube and just put that in God's Service / Lost Sheep Ministry and do it just like that with a space between each one, and you will get to my channel and you can watch my old videos. So again, and also I forgot to tell you, if you need any kind of spiritual counseling, you got any questions about anything that we talk about, or some you just rather talk offline or something like that, please reach out to me. I'm more than willing to do so. And also this Tuesday, for my Lost Sheep people, if you're available, we will be having the Lost Sheep Ministry this Tuesday at 6 o'clock at River Lake Baptist Church. So that is all for me tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed the lesson. And again, for all you women that's watching, I thank you for all that you do. And I want to let you know that I recognize what you do, and you are not little in my eyes. Your role is not insignificant in my eyes. And as a matter of fact, it's very significant. And I would say I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to do none of the things I'm able to do if it weren't for the women in my life. It may be a man's world, but it's nothing without a woman. So I thank you all. I thank you all for loving me. I thank you all for caring for us the way you do, and more importantly, just putting up with us, because we can really be boneheaded knuckleheads sometimes. But it's because of your love and your motivation that we're able to do the things that we do, and we're able to have the society that we have today. So I thank y'all for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and pray to get out of here tonight. Dear Lord and Father, thank you so much once again for this wonderful lesson. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to present this lesson tonight. I thank you so much for all those that were able to join tonight again. I know it's a Saturday night. It's not our normal night, but there was several that was able to make it in here, and it's such a blessing. Thank you for using me, Lord, putting this word on my heart, and giving us this wonderful lesson about Deborah, Lord. It's so many people in society takes the role of women, and they really just downplay it, Lord, and they downgrade it, and they belittle women for being women, Lord. And I just hope from this lesson they will be able to see how important it is for them to play their role. Don't let society make them feel bad for doing their job as women, because their job is crucial. We see this woman here tonight. She was doing what she's supposed to do. Her husband was off at the war. She was at home taking care of the house. And because of her housewifing abilities and her mothering abilities, Israel was able to get this mighty victory that they hadn't been able to get for 20 years. And the only reason they were able to get this victory is because another woman motivated a man to do the work, Lord. And that's what they do for us. And I pray you help them see how important their role as women is, and help them see why they should be fighting to keep that role and to continue to be able to be women. You know what I'm saying? Help them see that it's so important for them to continue to be women. So I just thank you so much for this lesson tonight. Thank you for all those that joined us. And I pray that this word will go out and touch the hearts of the people that watch the videos. More importantly, I pray this word can get out and touch the heart of the world and help men see how important the role of women are, and really appreciate them for all they do. And I pray you help women see how important it is for them to do their job and play their role as women, so they can continue to motivate us to be better men than we are. We just thank you so much. I ask you to watch over all your people as we go about the night. Keep us all safe, Lord. Help us get in rest so we can get up tomorrow, ready to go to your house to worship you. Be with all your servants. Be with all the churches that truly spread your word, and continue to help them grow, prosper, reach out to the community, to change the lives of others, capture lost souls of men. Be with all those that are lost, Lord. Pray you humble their heart and give them the want to come to know you before it's too late. And I just pray you be with all your faithful servants that's going through the fire. Keep them safe and protected, and keep them motivated to keep their faith in you, so they may come through that fire purified on the other side, and are able to honor and glorify you because of their ability to do so. Watch over us all as we rest up tonight. And I pray you keep us safe until we're able to gather once again to honor and glorify your name and spread your word. We love you and thank you for everything. And I say this prayer in your wonderful son, Jesus' name. Amen. Again, I thank y'all for being here. It's such a blessing. I think somebody said earlier the video froze up. I don't know what happened with that because it didn't look like it froze up on my end. So hopefully if you missed something, you can go back and watch it and it'll play just fine. I will post it on here in the next few minutes. But until then, like I said, someday next week, I don't know exactly which day, but I will put it on my Facebook page the next time I will bring a lesson. And I pray that you guys are able to be here to continue to support me and continue to learn from this wisdom that the Lord has blessed me with. But until then, I love you all. Thank you all. And remember to always watch your back and pray. Peace.